This planet has killed almost everything that has ever lived on it.
Five times. 5 times. 5 times. 5 times.
Behind this calm blue surface, these peaceful oceans and green forests.
Our planet is actually a serial killer.
If this planet were a landlord, it would have the worst reviews in the entire galaxy. Today we are going to investigate each of these 5 apocalypses. Not just what happened, but why it happened. Who survived, and what it means for us. The current tenants. And we are starting with the one. You already know. Case number 1, 66 million years ago. Let us get the famous one out of the way first. Dinosaurs were running the entire show. They had been in charge for so long that if Earth had a CEO, it would have been a T-Rex wearing a business suit. Over 10,000 species had carved out their own territories across every corner of the globe.
From the frozen poles to the tropical equator, everything belonged to the dinosaurs.
Now think about this. On the very last day of the dinosaur era, the literal last day, everything was completely normal. The sun rose, dinosaurs woke up. They ate, they fought, they did whatever dinosaurs do on a Tuesday. None of them looked up. A rock, that is all it was. A rock about the width of Manhattan, moving faster than a bullet. Slammed into the Gulf of Mexico. And in the time it takes you to read a text message, 135 million years of dinosaur civilization received its death sentence. But what fascinates me more than the explosion itself is what happened in the weeks after. The asteroid did not kill most dinosaurs directly. The real weapon was what it did to the sky. Imagine waking up one morning and the sun simply does not come up. Not because of clouds, not because of an eclipse,
But because the entire atmosphere is so choked with debris, that sunlight physically cannot reach the ground. Now imagine that, lasting for years.
No sunlight means no plants. No plants means no food for herbivores. No herbivores means no food for predators.
The entire food chain collapsed from the bottom up, like pulling the foundation out from under a skyscraper. But something survived.
Small, furry, burrowing mammals, our ancestors.
They could eat insects, seeds, and decaying matter. They did not need much food. They did not need sunlight. They just needed to hide and wait. When the dust cleared, they crawled out into an empty world. No predators, no competition, just opportunity. You and I are alive today because a rock fell from the sky. And our rat-sized ancestors were too small for the universe to bother killing. Case number 2, 201 million years ago. Go back another 135 million years. All of Earth's land was locked together in one massive supercontinent, Pangaea, and the real rulers were not dinosaurs. They were Cruratarsans, ancestors of modern crocodiles. Not the lazy, log-shaped reptiles you see on nature documentaries today. These were upright, fast, terrifying predators. Dinosaurs at this point were the B team, small, overlooked, the interns of the animal kingdom. So how did these tiny nobodies end up ruling the planet for the next 135 million years? Simple. Earth killed everyone else, for them. Pangaea started breaking apart. Where continents tear, volcanoes scream. Apocalyptic amounts of toxic gas flooded the atmosphere. Temperatures skyrocketed. Oceans turned acidic. The air itself became difficult to breathe. 75% of all species eliminated. Picture this. You are the most insignificant employee at a company. One day a disaster hits, and every executive, every manager, every senior employee, gone. Suddenly you are the most qualified person in the building. That was the dinosaurs. They did not conquer the world through strength. They inherited it through survival. Case number 3, 252 million years ago. The Great Dying. What I am about to describe is without exaggeration. The closest life on Earth has ever come to being completely, permanently, irreversibly wiped out. A volcanic event in Siberia, so massive, the human brain struggles to comprehend its scale. The Siberian traps produced enough lava to bury the entire United States under a layer of molten rock.
As we simulate the passage of time, reaching 1 million years, we can observe the continuous geological activity of the Earth.
The volcanoes pumped so much carbon dioxide and methane into the atmosphere
that global temperatures rose by up to 10 degrees Celsius. For context, if temperatures today rose by just 4 degrees, most major cities would be underwater and global agriculture would collapse. This was 10 degrees, in an already warm world. The oceans heated up so much, they literally ran out of oxygen. Imagine an ocean where nothing can breathe. Not fish, not shellfish, not coral, nothing. 96% of all ocean species dead. 70% of all land vertebrates dead. The planet took over 10 million years to recover. This was the worst thing that has ever happened to life on Earth. Case number 4, 372 million years ago.
This extinction was not caused by volcanoes, not by an asteroid, not by an ice age.
It was caused by trees.
Yes, trees, the very first forests on Earth.
Trees absorbed massive amounts of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. The planet cooled.
Their root systems broke apart rocks, releasing minerals into the soil.
Rain washed those nutrients into rivers, which carried them into the ocean. The ocean received a flood of nutrients it had never experienced before. Algae populations exploded. When the algae died and decomposed, the decomposition process consumed all the oxygen in the water. Marine life suffocated, slowly and painfully, over thousands of years. 75% of species gone, killed by trees. Nature's not care about intentions. Case number 5, 444 million years ago.
The first time Earth decided to test whether life could survive the worst it had to offer.
At this point, the land was completely barren. No trees, no animals, no insects, nothing. But the oceans were paradise. Warm, shallow seas teeming with life. Then a massive landmass drifted over the South Pole. Snow accumulated, ice formed, and it kept forming. For hundreds of thousands of years, Earth descended into one of the most severe ice ages in its history. Sea levels dropped dramatically. The warm, shallow seas that 85% of marine life depended on simply vanished. But here is what makes this extinction uniquely cruel. It was a double punch. First, the Ice Age killed everything that could not handle the cold. The few tough survivors adapted to freezing temperatures over thousands of generations. Then, the ice melted rapidly, and those same survivors, the ones who had spent thousands of years evolving to live in cold water, were now being killed by warmth. 85% of all marine species, gone. So here we are, 5 apocalypses, 5 near-death experiences, 5 times the world ended, and 5 times life clawed its way back. But the uncomfortable question scientists are increasingly asking is this: are we living through number 6, right now? Species are going extinct at a rate 1,000 times faster than the natural background rate. Carbon dioxide levels are rising faster than at any point in the last 66 million years. The difference this time, it is not an asteroid, it is not a volcano, it is not even trees, it is us that has ever faced extinction. We are the first ones who can see it coming, the first ones who understand what is happening, and the first ones who have the ability, if we choose to use it, to actually do something about it. The world has ended 5 times. Whether there is a 6th time, that is up to us.